Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear students. Welcome back to my class. This is for you, whatever time you are watching this video. Today, I'm going to continue with the lesson that I've done earlier. That is from the first flight, Standard 10 of NCERT book. That is the lesson A Letter to God. So that's written by GL Fuentes, and today I'm going to complete the explanation of this particular lesson. So stay tuned and let's do it. In the last video I explained up to this part where we stopped with the postmaster sending the money along with the letter where he has written only God as signature, so that he doesn't reveal anything about himself or who is replying to this letter. Okay, so what we can see, Lencho had a deep faith in God, and he had such kind of faith that which is unwavering, and then he was 100% or more than 100% sure that God is going to send him the money that he asked for. Okay, so with that great expectation, he went to the post office the following Sunday, that means the next Sunday. This Sunday he sent the letter to God, dropping it himself in the post office. Now he is coming back the following Sunday to inquire whether there is any letter in his name. Okay, so it's very clearly written here. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual. Look at this, a bit earlier than usual. Okay, interestingly, to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. So the postman himself handed the letter to Lencho. Okay, and the postmaster was sitting inside his office, and then he was looking or observing Lencho to look at his expression, what kind of expression he is going to show at this point of time. But you know, that postman and the postmaster observing Lencho did not see the slightest surprise on his face. When Lencho opened the letter, found the money, he did not show any reaction. Why? Because his confidence is such that he was 100% sure or more than 100% sure that he is really going to receive the money. So that's it. And we can see when he finally counted the money, you know what? He got angry. There was anger popping out in the expression of his face. Okay? So we'll find out why he gets angry. When he counted the money, we come to know that he gets only 70 pesos. Okay? We have seen this particular situation in the last video, where we found that the postmaster was unable to collect all the amount of money that Lencho asked for. Okay, there was 100 pesos, and it was really impossible for the postmaster to collect 100 pesos. So whatever he could collect from all the different sources that's mentioned in the story, okay, from his post office employees, part of his salary, and he obliged his friends to donate something for an act of charity. So from all these sources, what he could collect was 70 pesos. And this 70 pesos he put in the envelope and sent it to Lencho. Now counting the money, Lencho was angry. Okay, and then he asked for paper and ink, and then he went to the public writing table and he wrote another letter with a lot of hardship, with lot of trying to express what he wants to write in his letter. You see here, it's written like this. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. It took a lot of effort for him to express his idea because he was not educated, but he knew how to read and write. That's all. Okay, so when he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, and which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with the blow of his fist. So he went to the public writing table, and then there in the public writing table, after writing it, he put the letter inside, and he bought a ticket, because a ticket is required in order to send a letter somewhere, because with that amount of money paid for the ticket only, your letter is going to reach to the destination. So he got the ticket, the small stamp paper, and what he did, he licked it first of all. Licked it, okay, because there's a sticky gum you can find in the ticket. So when it becomes wet, it becomes sticky. Okay, so sticking it on the envelope, outside of the envelope, he did a blow of his fist like this. So that also shows his anger, frustrated with the situation, because he was asking for 100 pesos and he got only 70 pesos. So that blow of his fist is also showing a kind of expressing his anger. Okay, so at the time he is affixing the ticket as well as expressing his anger. All right, but we know, we read something here in the beginning, the postmaster was looking at him with the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed. With that contentment, the postmaster was looking at Lencho. But seriously, when Lencho finally wrote the letter and dropped it in the post box, as he went back, the postman went to the post box and collected the letter and brought it to the postmaster. Okay, and let's read what the letter reads. Look at this. God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Lencho. He closes his letter with this. Look at this. What did we find? That the postmaster was expecting something good out of this second letter, because he sent the money. At least he was expecting that Lencho was writing some kind of thanksgiving letter to God. He was sitting back at his office, and then he was observing with the contentment of a man who has done a good deed. But on the contrary, what did he find? That Lencho called him and his friends and the employees of the post office as a bunch of crooks, as thieves. So that the post office employees are blamed, or a kind of doubt has been developed in Lencho's mind that the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. So that is something contradictory. That is the irony of the situation here. In literature, writers create some kind of irony. They play with the situations, they play with the words. Here, the writer has played with the situation. Okay? Lencho, instead of thanking God, he is complaining against the post office employees. Okay, the irony of the situation we find here is the same people who tried to help Lencho in his crisis, okay, to overcome his crisis, are the people who are being, called as bunch of crooks. That's really, really, heartbreaking for a good man who has tried to help somebody in his situation. So that's why, I told you in the first video that I'll be explaining two things in the story. That's the two conflicts that we have in the story. The two conflicts are the conflict between humans and nature. Now you see, when there's a conflict between humans and nature, it is out of our ability to control that situation. When nature is destroying something, we have no power to control over it. Okay? So here, Lencho's crop was totally destroyed. That was the blow of nature. Conflict between humans and nature, where humans have no control over it. And then there is also another conflict in the story, the conflict between humans and humans themselves. Now in this particular conflict, what we find is that in the conflict between humans and humans, humans have the capability to control that conflict. You see, if Lencho had understood, that God cannot send money like this in the envelope, it is not natural for God to do like that, act like that, or it is not natural for human beings to reach to God like this, sending letter. A postman cannot reach to God. Could he understood this situation earlier, this conflict could have been avoided. Okay, the conflict that he had with the post office employees, the persons who tried to do something good for him, he called them a bunch of crooks, thieves. He thought that they siphoned away some amount of money from what God had sent to him. That's why. So finally we see that in this particular story there are two conflicts. One conflict is out of the control of human beings. Another conflict is in the hands of human beings to control it. But Lencho allowed it in such a level that it created the conflict. Okay? Because he developed a doubt, he became faithless on another human beings. That's the situation. We human beings do not have faith on our fellow beings. That is the problem with us. Okay? So because of this problem, we see conflicts around, or conflicts between human beings can be found, can be seen around, can be experienced throughout the history. You can see that conflict. Okay? So this is the story, and I hope you have understood it. So I'm going to wind up today's class here. Stay safe and thank you for watching.